Welcome in, my friends. Show number 400. 400. Congratulations to everyone for making that happen. It's been awesome. Thank you to Jeff, who's my operations director for CarBiz, as well as the kind of behind the scenes producer. My wife, always producing inside the set here, always helping out, always bouncing ideas off. I really appreciate that. To my dealers and friends who have called me and given me ideas and content over the years of the 400. Thank you very much for your participation in this great show. While we're on the thank yous, let's thank Fareed Haq, the man, the myth, the legend behind our music here for this podcast. Fareed, I love you, buddy. I'll never forget the day we were sitting there and heard the tune that Gypsy Circus, which is interesting because Automotive sometimes feels like that. And I didn't know the name of this at the time. I heard it after I heard the song, and just immediately dialed into it, man. So thanks again for. I mean, we're going with this. It's 400 shows, so was it almost 8 years? Because folks, here's the reality of 400 shows, if I might. It's 400 straight Mondays. Right here, right now. 400 straight Mondays. I take a lot of pride in it. The consistency, the reasoning behind it, why we started this show was to make it somewhere where people could go to see what they thought of me as an individual, my thoughts, the way they align with the business. And if aligned with people, then people would reach out. People would say things. If not aligned with people, right? If nothing interesting is to be had there, then so be it. As far as I'm concerned, that was kind of the other point of it was you went there and didn't like what you saw. Fine. I don't care. Then I used to joke that it was a way to deter people from calling me, because ultimately I would rather you already have seen what's on record and said, because I'm not silly, right? You're either with it or you're not with it kind of guy. There's not a lot of gray area with me. People are like, it's fine. People either like me or don't. And that's cool. That's kind of how it was designed. Anyways, that's what the show is about. That's why we started it. Because initially we didn't think I should be anywhere near the internet or near the shows or near places where people could hear me talk, because I'm a problem in that way. But it turned out this was a great medium for us to get into and to do it. And so when we started the show, our first 50 episodes were actually just audio. They were audio shows that we ran out, and I had interviews in there, sitting with people with just mics in a room. Chad Graves, you know about that. Mark Phillips, a friend and client of mine, as well. A couple of those pre-video interview setups. A lot of fun though to go back and rehash that and look at that, and talk with people about that, because again, that's some of the best times that I have with this show. Is the interview process. Pre-COVID, man, we were hitting the road every year for a little spinoff we were calling the CarBiz Chronicles, but it was all because of this show and all the opportunity, and still filled that space, that Monday space. We just kind of rebranded it. But the point was that we were out, we were talking to people down in North Carolina, talking with, obviously, with my friends at Reunion, my buddy Marty Valajuli, way back when. It was great to be able to be on the road and go do that and be in different places and be around people who, from an industry perspective, we all share a common goal, right? A common thread. We were traveling out east. We did this where I met up with Dave Foy many years ago. And again, just a reason to hit the road. And the wife hates it. And who would blame her, right? Honestly, if every time we say, let's travel, and I say, great, we can meet someone here or do work there, I am a pain in the ass in that way. And I'm very aware of it. It's not lost on me. And I appreciate the hell out of her. She's the main reason we're here today as a company. I'm here today as a human, and this show still exists. This show got off, we were doing something for a while where we were really, getting away from the 5 to 10 minute idea. The interviews are running longer. This year, we've really tried to dial it back. It's been a lot of fun. And me, myself, I try to keep these things 5 to 10 minutes. I used to go on and on. It was a lot easier to ramble on and on and on when you were just sitting in front of a mic, didn't have to worry about a camera, and could just kind of blah, blah, blah. And I still mainly look up at the ceiling anyways. I don't really do a whole camera lean in thing. I'm looking different places, but it was just a different experience. I always wear a hat now, whereas then I never wore a hat. My hair is crazy. So I don't have to worry about it. So 400 shows, the word consistency stands out to me big time. Being consistent in what we've done, being here every single Monday, delivering a message, and trying to really invest and think about what message is in the times. And that's why when I started the show, thanking dealers and friends of mine who have, texted me or emailed me and said, man, because of my position in life, I cannot say these things, but this is what's happening. And to be able to bring those things forward and give people an outlet and an opportunity to express how they feel via me, I'm happy to do it. I'll do it for another 400 shows if folks want to do that. This show, we don't have thousands of followers, millions of views. We don't. We're niche. I have no problem with that. My nephews do. I made that joke a million times on the show. My nephews look at my YouTube channel and they think, what's the point? Point is 10 views, 12 views, 15 views. They're likely of people within my industry or referred to a friend or shared by a link, given the data that I see. So when that happens, you think to yourself, okay, here we go. And yeah, we've had a couple of viral hits. We obviously, our biggest show ever is, why EVs are stupid. And that show went absolutely nuts. But it got stuck in a thread. It got stuck on Reddit. It got stuck in other places. And when that link gets shared like that, it's the power of social media. And the one thing that will always stand out to me about that EV show, forget the fact that we were getting comments like years after it launched, was the length of these comments. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't do that. But my business partner, Jeff, he does. And he would always say, dude, people leave, that's funny, or a line or an emoji or whatever. But the people in this EV thread on our channel, and you can go look at it. It's episode 240, maybe 245. I don't remember. I saw the damn thing every single day. It popped up in my notifications. But yeah, it's one of those things that you shot it and I didn't think much of it. I did a follow-up show. It was good, but wasn't nearly that good. And that show really was just me venting my frustration at the time about it. But that's what this show has been about. Has been about an opportunity to vent and bring forward what I see happening, whether it's in a store with a vendor. And I think we've always also done a really great job of protecting not only, our sources, but also our criticisms by direct name. The show isn't about that. It just isn't. There have been only 2 shows in the 400 shot that have ever not made it to air. And both times they didn't make it to air were because of my heat, my aggression, and my lack of decorum in that way. I take people to woodshed all the time. That's not what I'm saying. But in these 2 episodes that I have, it was not that way. And the people I surround myself with saw that and said, look, probably not, maybe not, shouldn't do it. Right. So we didn't. But that's it. Those are the only 2 shows that haven't been aired. None of these shows, 400 of these shows, has ever been re-recorded or doctored in any way. Now, this show, if we get time to mess around with it, do some editing in the 400, maybe, whatever. But it won't change the words. It won't change what was said about this show. So anyways, I'm excited to see how we progress this, where we can take it. I'd love to get back on the road. This wasn't on the road. One of my favorite backdrops was an interview I did with my buddy Kendall Dahman from Zimmerk Automotive Group at the Kohl Center. It was just he and I in a suite in the background. It was just awesome. It was awesome. And right as we were ending, players were coming out. It was just a really, really cool place to have an interview. I loved going live to people's offices. I love being in spaces like that. It's Zoom now, StreamYard, whatever. It's online meetings. But I'm hoping to get the show out in 26 and get back to the roots of it, which is to the people and to the industry. Want to try and ramp up the interviews. You got any folks you think need to be heard from or wanted to be heard from? Reach out, hit me up, let me know. Let's talk about finding a way to get them on our show, get them an opportunity to talk about what they're into, because our industry needs great people and we don't need to hide them. So thank you all so very much to everyone who helps with the show. But most importantly, thank you to those who watch it. Whether that's 10, 15, 10,000, 20,000, each and every week, I do appreciate it. Some weeks hit, some weeks don't, that's okay with me. It really is. So thank you again to everyone. I do appreciate it. And next week on the show, I want to get into some housekeeping for the new year. All right. Thank you again. 400 shows. We should all be very proud of ourselves. And we are. Have a great week.